Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Friday morning's Co-Creative No Codes office hours. If this is your first time joining us for office hours, we do this every day of the week, Monday through Friday, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And our Co-Creative No Code members, and membership is only $49 per month. They are invited to attend all of our live Zoom sessions. So you can come on and you can ask for support with any sort of bubble bugs you might be having, any feature requests you're trying to build out. Everything is welcome as long as it's on the topic of bubble. We go off on tangents very rarely. Sometimes we do, though. We have fun. And yeah, we don't promise an answer, but you won't have to suffer alone, as Jay can attest to. Yeah, so we're gonna get started today. Hey, Juan, how are you? Thank you for coming on office hours today. So
thank you for inviting me.
We've got Jay and we've got Juan, and Thomas apparently got stuck trying to join, so he should be here in a moment as well. We're going to be doing, Juan, today's build along. We're going to start fiddling around with Backendless. So see what we can do on Backendless. Yeah, that should be fun. But actually, I wanted to start because I had a question. That's why I brought you on, friend. Is we've been working, Thomas and I have been working on a chat reusable. And I'm pretty proud of what we've been able to do so far. We have this chat page. And if I run this as myself, so basically we were seeing what we could do in terms of building a similar feature to the Messenger in Facebook, where while you're on your feed, you can open up different chats, up to 3 different chats with different of your friends. And
that looks awesome.
Yeah, and it's working. This is all working, but the weird thing here is this is actually this icon is in the repeating group, in the floating group on the page. And so and the reason I did that is because the chat itself is in the reusable. So this part is in a reusable. And so I was keeping track of the list of chats to go here, the list of threads to go here is on a custom state on the page. So I had to put this on the page in order to communicate with it. So we're dealing with that barrier issue that you have, like that we use Orchestra to get around. But I have an idea, and I think you might be able to tell me before I spend time on it if it will work. Instead of just having this chat box in a reusable, I should probably put the repeating group with the chat box in one reusable. So different from what you and I were talking about, Thomas, last night, and not have 2 reusables, but just have one reusable that's the repeating group, and then this is part of the repeating group. And then I can do store the state on the reusable itself and communicate with it that way in terms of the list here.
Okay, like having one repeating group as a reusable that contains 3 reusables inside it.
No, just I'm thinking about, instead of right now, we just have this group here in the reusable. I think this reusable should be the repeating group, with this inside of one of the cells of the repeating group, not as a separate reusable, but all in one.
Okay, yes. I thought that this repeating group was an element, not a repeating group. Sorry, not a reusable inside this other reusable.
Yeah, no, right now it is. So right now it's not. So that's what I think will solve the problem. I think if I just make a repeating group and then this is the first cell of the repeating group, then I won't have to have the icon on the page itself. I should be able to have the icon, the minimize icon, and the X icon in here. maybe. I don't
Yeah,
know.
can you show me the states that and the logic that shows this?
Yeah, so when I click here, when I click on one of these names here, like that, it adds that thread to a list of threads on this page. But what I'm thinking is if I put this repeating group is on the page and is holding this reusable, right? But I think it should be this repeating group is the reusable instead. And then I should be able to manage the state on the reusable itself. And that way the button can stay in the reusable. Because right now this button is on the page, but this is in a reusable. And that's hacky.
Yes. Can you go 1 second to the page, please?
Sure.
To check.
Welcome, Jordan.
Hey, Tanya.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
You've been a little while.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on the page, friend.
Okay, and can you show me the actions? Okay, there is the reusable.
So this is the reusable, and then this
And
is
this is a floating group.
Yep, floating group. Transparent floating
Okay.
group.
Yeah,
That's
because
holding the repeating
maybe
group.
this will crash if this is on a mobile or maybe on a different size, like height screen, maybe. Not sure.
Good thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think we should just turn it off on mobile because Facebook doesn't allow you to see it when you're
Yes, you're right.
on mobile. They make you go to their app for Messenger. So we won't worry about that.
Yeah. So
we won't be more clever than Facebook.
I think the approach that you told me will work.
Okay, good. Then we can finish that up, Thomas. What was that?
Okay. No. Yeah, maybe to check it again, the other page.
Sure. The reusable page or this page?
This one. And can you second, I move this? Can you select the repeating group? Please check friends. Item. Okay. And this X subtract this thread to the list of threads in the state, right?
Exactly.
Yes, I think it will work.
Okay, cool. Then I will invest some time in it and we'll see where we get on Monday. I think we're going to try playing around with Backendless today in our build along. So, or maybe we'll finish this up and do Backendless on Monday. I don't know, Thomas, how do you feel about it?
We can just do this on Monday and then take a peek at get started with Backendless.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. I think that's the first time I've ever brought a question to my own office hours before. Thank you for standing in for me, Juan. Awesome. So, okay, let's get started. Jade, you have something for us today?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. I will stop sharing and you can share.
Okay. So after we spoke the other day, I got a lot further, but I'm still a little bit stuck. So this is my message center. These are all. This is sent. This is all working as it should. And then I'm not sure about the user experience with this, but this is not working. And oops. I don't think that's right. So how it's working right now is when you click on here, you set a custom state that scrolls you to the last one and puts and then marks that red based on based on the action on that icon. There it is. So it sets the state, which is based on the cell index. It scrolls to the bottom and then it makes the change. Ugh. Every time we're in office hours, my bubble interface gets super slow. Maybe
Yeah,
because-
it's when you're sharing your screen.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what's going on, but I don't really think that experience is great. The way you get kind of shoved to the bottom, it's hard to know where you are.
Mhm.
I think, I mean, but then again, over time, two people are going to have a lengthy conversation.
Right. So this is generally what we use the reverse repeating group for. So that way it's showing the most recent message at the bottom, but you're only showing, but you're still showing a whole chat window. Right. So and that way you wouldn't have to scroll to it to find it.
You mean change the sort order?
Not just change the sort order, but also use the reverse repeating group plugin. I think the one from Zero Code is like $25 one time. But it makes a huge difference in being able to do chat messages because it reverses the order of the scroll. So when you're scrolling, instead of scrolling down, you're scrolling up to see old messages.
Okay, I'll look into that. In the meantime, then this continues to be the problem. So
Okay. And are you keeping the read unread at the message level?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
Okay, so how are you keeping track of whether a message was read or not read yet?
Yeah, it's in the message data type.
Okay, is it a list of users?
No,
What is it
it's
exactly?
just it just is this. Yes, no.
So you can't really do that because there's going to be two users who need to read it.
Ah,
So you'll
yes.
so you'll need to make a list of users for your read section.
Just
Yeah.
on that, Tonya, how do you how does it update? Do they have to physically click it, or can you just make it?
It depends. So you can use a conditional on when something becomes visible. If you wanted to do that. So like, but I wouldn't go so granular. For me, it would just be if they open the conversation, I would mark all of the messages as read. That, I would add their name to all of the messages that didn't have their name in the red one. That's simpler, but you have things like, I don't know if you're familiar with Slack at all, either of you. But Slack allows you to get much more granular in terms of when you mark something as read or not. But I think the simplest is when they click that button, you would run a workflow on a list of things to add their name to the read field on all of the messages where it's not currently there.
So for unread, this is currently what I have, the search for conversations. It contains the current user and it's filtered by a search for messages. I'm going to have to change this, obviously. So this would just be read doesn't contain current user.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to need to fix up some of my data before I can check it. So I'll do that.
Okay, perfect.
I know that other people are waiting, but I just want to let you know, I've got two other things. One I think is pretty trivial, and the other one, in terms of your effort and time, and the other one's more experimentation. So I'm just going to get myself back at the end of the line with that.
All right, sounds good. Awesome. And then next we had Juan. Juan, do you have anything for today? I can't hear you, friend. I saw you go off mute, but I couldn't hear you. Oh, he's chatting. Oh, okay. Maybe he does have something. I was almost asking as a joke. I have questions for Juan, not the other way around.
I was about to say it's funny that you're asking Juan.
I know, right? I was just going in order. Okay, friend, I'll come back to you in a second. Let's see. Thomas, do you have something for today?
Just tuning in.
Just tuning in. All right, Jordan, how about you?
Hello. Yeah. What have I got? So, last week I was trying to set up like a chat thing, like what we were just talking about.
Okay, awesome.
It was a template in AirDev or Canvas that does it all, but I played around with it one time and I think I changed some stuff. And now when I was trying to redo it, it was saying that I was missing a reusable element and I couldn't work out which one it was or how to get it back.
Got it. Probably easier to start over.
Yeah, but when I start over and I put in the the new template block, it's missing straight away.
Oh, the reusable is missing straight. So it's not detecting, it's missing the reusable before it like puts it in.
I'll show you.
Okay, yeah, we can figure out which reusable it is, but maybe we can copy it over. I don't know.
So I think it was this one that I was trying to use. Needs to comments read with like and reply.
Okay, now
Welcome back, friend.
I'm with only one AirPod. Meanwhile, the other is charging up.
Do you want to jump in and go first, and I'll go after you? Think?
Do you want me to do it?
Oh, no,
no, that's fine. We can continue with yours. In fact, Juan can help. Juan is inside Canvas more than I am.
Okay.
Much more than I am. So he can help answer questions as well. If he has time. I know you're very busy.
Yeah, no, don't worry. But yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is I've got like a profile page here where I've got everything set up. And I want to have like a Slack type thing just for this one page, so anyone can jump on and write comments.
Mm-hmm.
So it was this one that I was looking at. So let me just bring it back up. It's going quite slow today.
You want to stop sharing and get it to where you need it? Sometimes that makes it faster.
Does it?
Yep. We haven't really had that problem recently, but
Okay.
is it working faster without the share? Good.
Okay, yeah, so this is it here. So basically it's this bit here, deleted reusable element. I can't find out what it is.
It seems that you deleted it from not from the page. I mean, you deleted it from the Bubble app. So if you go to the to the top left where it said page profile, There, no, a
I
little bit
have-
more there,
yeah,
where you
yeah.
see the first one are the pages, and the other ones, do you see pages, and below it reusable elements.
Yeah.
It seems that you delete it from here, so you delete it completely from the app.
Yeah, but what is it?
Yeah, and how do we get it back?
Maybe
So
do
I
you have a backup there, like, or maybe can you 1 second? Do you remember the name of the element that was deleted?
No.
Deleted,
no, he doesn't remember.
or
That's
can
okay.
you, for example, an idea is to create a save point, like before reverting or something. Take a screenshot or a picture with your phone of the reusable elements that you have, and revert to the last time that you can, and then how do you say that? Yeah, check
If-
one per one and find the one that is missing, copy it, revert
Yeah.
again, and paste it.
I have another idea. Show me the name of the element, the block that you inserted, because it's just threaded comments, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I have that same
So
one.
it's nested comments thread brackets with like and reply.
Okay, let me go to.
Okay, that element doesn't have logic or something, so you only need to add it from scratch.
I don't understand what you mean, Juan.
I mean that if you add a block again, he will not
It-
have the logic that he maybe added to that block in the past,
Right,
the one that
exactly.
he deleted.
So I want to find the name of it.
Okay,
and
is
see
there a
if
way that I
copy it in.
can like reinstall a second app of AirDev, and then I can re-download that?
No, unfortunately,
I
it
have to buy it
doesn't work.
again, eh?
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. I wish it did, but I think that's a bubble limitation. I'm sure AirDev would do it that way if they were able to. But that's one of the
Well-
reasons why we were taught in the beginning with AirDev not to
Okay.
delete things. We
Yeah,
did-
and 1 second, do you have in that reusable that you deleted, do you have logic that you want to preserve? Because if not,
No.
okay, so we can go to the page, find the deleted element, like the breadcrumbs or something that is still there, and we can just delete it from the page and add the block again. The only thing that we need to find is how it is called. So maybe you can go to the element.
There's a reusable element missing from this reusable element, and I don't know what it is.
Can you take?
Can you go?
I'm gonna take a screenshot of mine. Or let me look.
Maybe
at,
if you can install it into yours, Tanya, and we can find out what it's called.
Yeah, no, I have that installed in mine already.
Okay.
On my hotfix branch. So let me go to my hotfix branch.
Do you want to share?
No, actually, I want you to keep sharing because I want to see your reusables and compare it to mine and see like if I can identify which one it might be. So go ahead and click on the page part.
You want me on the main page?
Yeah, no, I want to see the reusables that you have.
Oh, sorry.
To find the element.
But I think it's sad because I think Canvas is supposed to search for all of the reusables you need for it and install it if it's not there.
Yeah.
So let's see. No, stay on the page part where it's expanded so I can see the reusables that you have.
I'm just going back to that.
I think I get lost. You want to delete that text that says deleted reusable element that is being shown in the page?
Oh, that's a good point. Do we need it? He was assuming that it was something that he was missing.
Yeah.
That he needed, but maybe we can just delete that thing and then
Yeah,
it will be
we can
fine.
delete. Yeah.
Okay.
But 1 second. Can you go to the page 1 second, please?
This one. So
Not
clicking
there.
down,
To the no, to the to preview this page, please.
preview the page.
Yeah. And at the bottom, you will see a the book blue button. Oh no, sorry, inspect. Can you click on inspect, please? And hover this deleted reusable element. Can you click that? Okay, you delete. It was called pop-up sign up login. You deleted that. So, and can you hover the site next to it to try to find where is it?
Hover
Because I'm not sure if this is in the reusable element or in the page.
one. It says reusable.
Yeah. So can you go? No, at the, I think it is in the reusable. Can you go to the reusable? To the other page, please.
Is there a way to see your what do you want me to do? Click on here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And type where in the top bar it says pick an element.
Nope, up higher.
At the
To the
right,
right. There you
there,
go.
and type pop up. There is it. Pop up sign up login. This is the element that is causing this. So you need to delete it or add it again from the
If you double click on it,
yeah.
then just in the inspector, just click delete.
Yeah. Do I need it?
Uh-huh.
There we go.
But do I need it?
Okay. Uh-huh.
Well,
This is not a crucial element of the canvas, but you can add it again from the
I'll need that to get in, right? Like to log into the app. I must have deleted by accident.
No, this is another element that is not like the page itself to log in. This is a pop-up that you can use also to log in from other pages.
So I don't really need it at the moment.
nope.
At the
You're
moment,
good.
no. You will need it when you need to create something to display a pop-up to log in another page, but mostly is not used.
Okay.
I mean, you need to add logic to display it, to show it.
Okay.
Thank you for simplifying that, Juan,
Don't worry.
instead of my wild goose chase.
Okay, cool. And has anyone done like a sort of Slack type thing where you can actually tag in a user?
I think.
Sorry,
you
may
done
I
tagging?
give an example of that? Sorry, to finish that topic of the pop-up,
You know how,
the
like,
login?
you know, like Facebook and Slack and stuff, you can do, you know, shift at, and then it brings up a list of users' names, and then you can type and tag them.
Yes, Juan has done that. And Calum has also done that recently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't like it a lot too much.
He doesn't like it.
How come?
No, it behaves weird because do you see these weird spaces? Sometimes it's super big, sometimes it's yeah, like the height.
What's the workaround? What do you do? Just not tag people?
Sorry, can you say it again, please?
What's the workaround if you want to notify someone of a comment?
No, there are two plugins that do that. One of them is more robust than the other one. I think the more robust is the BDK one.
Oh yeah, I've got that. This is what this is. BDK,
Yeah, but yeah, I think it still needs some improvements. But yeah, it works, but not as I would want.
Is it this one, eh?
Yeah, this is the more robust one that I found.
I was trying, I couldn't get it to tag, so I've got the tag set up here. But it's actually not tagging. So I was going down here and I've got, see, users, search for users. So it's searching for all users, display first, last name when you do the app, but then it doesn't work.
Let me message Calum and see if he can come on. He has this working in his app, I think. And he
can you go again to the editor, please?
Into the what?
into the editor, into the bubble editor. Yeah, there, 1 second. Okay, no, 1 second again, please, there. And enable read-only, enable toolbar. You need to enable the tag too, so give me a second. Basic, comments, colors. Can you scroll down a little bit, please? Maybe can you change the data source of hashtag? Maybe it is causing issues because you have this like to, yeah. You.
Yeah, I did try that. That's why it wasn't working. So I tried it with the hashtag.
Give me a second.
To see if the hashtag will work, but it didn't. No,
Not working.
no.
Juan had to step away for a call.
Oh, okay.
But I have also, I'll see if Calum can come later too.
Maybe it's the air mode.
Have you checked the BDK documentation for it, or is there any? Out of all of the bubble plugin developers, at least with BDK native, Garv is pretty good with documentation.
Hello. Where do you find that? Yeah, I have checked that. Yeah, it's in Notion.
Hello, sorry again.
Welcome back.
Okay, let me check my setup. Because yeah, this plugin is tricky. You will also notice that after it is working there, you will notice that, for example, you cannot filter the names. So you begin typing and yeah. Okay. Enable toolbar. Can you go again to the element, please? Yeah, so enable no, read only no, enable toolbar, yes, text size, yes. Formula. Can you set this at the bottom instead of top? There, bottom, please.
Welcome, Calum.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Are you using the BDK one for your mentions or a different one?
There's a BDK mentioned one.
Or a tagging? Yeah,
I didn't realize it was a
in the mention link. In the mention link, can you add unique ID, please?
Add what?
It will in the mention link
Was
field there. Unique ID. It will be better for you to then do operations with it. And can you go to your private? No, let's preview this and also let's check the privacy rules because maybe can be an issue there. You cannot preview from my reusable. Maybe you can go to the other tab that you have there. Okay.
Is this part of the BDK native plugin thing?
There's text, it's BDK text editor.
Oh, okay. I haven't been using this one. I've been using the I think it's the bubble one. Just check.
Oh, that was the other thing that was wrong with it is when you push enter, it scrolls to the bottom of the page.
Oh, yeah. I asked this to the plugin author, and he said me that, like, sorry, he cannot fix it.
I've
For
been
now.
using the tagger one by Edev, and that works. Yeah, that works for me.
Which one's that?
Yeah, do you
Yeah,
want to show?
tagger.
Why don't you share your screen and you can show us?
Yeah, sure.
The issue
Yeah.
with this one, just
Mhm.
in case for the future, is that you cannot pull the unique ID, for example, with this one. So
This one.
it only displays to you like names, even not the email. So
No, that's
you can
no. So you can
don't.
show that you can show the email from it. I think on this one. So it's either that one or it's another one I've used, but you can definitely do it because you do it as replace. Let me just find it for you. To write a post, obviously. Is it? Oh, hashtag. Here we go. So I'm showing my screen, so it's being insanely slow as usual. Hashtag. Here we go. Okay, so this one. Okay, sorry. So yeah, this one you do the @ and then this one. Yeah, no. In the workflow, won't it? I'm just trying to find out where all the stuff is now.
Just while you're doing that, Juan, was it so? There's no fix for the pushing enter makes it go to the bottom of the page. No.
Sorry.
Oh, there's how when you push enter, it scrolls to the bottom of the page. There's no fix for that.
No. I asked it to the plugin author in the past, like 1 month or 2 ago.
Yeah.
And he said me like he can add more, improvements for now to the input.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, it was extract. I definitely had it here where it would replace the element with whatever you want. So it would take the user's first. So you do @ mention, and it would and then it would search for whatever you told it to, but it would replace it with whatever else you wanted. So if you want to @ mention like a username, but attached to the username is also an email address, you replace it with the email address. Was that what you're looking to do?
Yeah, just to avoid, like, for example, do you remember, Tonya, that I received notifications from the other Juan in Erdev when he comes to the company?
Oh yeah, because yes, I remember.
It was caused by this issue.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
I still find it hilarious that we whenever I'm talking to one or the other of you, I call you the other one.
That's funny.
It's a dad joke. I'm not a dad, but I got jokes.
So setup mentions, that's the one. Yeah, so here we go. Sorry, setup mentions. So when you go onto it, you set up the mentions and it says when user selects @ so I've got current users connect profiles username. You can then, in this case, I'm still showing the same username, but you can do it. So I could do current sales connect profiles email address. So when I do @ mention the username, it will fill in the email address instead. Is that what you're trying to do?
Do you have to type out the whole username, or does it have a drop down? And
No, it has a drop down.
oh, it does.
Yeah, but obviously, so you can limit it. So this one's limited to current users following username.
Can you preview it to show it or no?
I don't know if it's set up. I don't remember it being working last time. I can give it a go. Oh, so yeah, sorry. So there we go. So it applies to hashtag 1 and hashtag 2. So it should work if I check the hashtags.
So do you just use that with any text input?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because I used one for to give it a go, but I don't think it'll work. I mean, the system definitely works. I just think I disabled it for some reason. I can't remember why I disabled it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know it was working because I was with you when it was working.
Right. Oh, by the way, I got rid of the button at the bottom, so there's no longer a button at the bottom. There's the go back to your home screen there, which is much simpler and cleaner. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah. So I just installed it, but there's no,
There you go.
there's no nothing on
So,
the
yeah.
element.
No, there's nothing on the element. So do on page load and then action setup mentions, and then it's done in the workflows.
Ah,
But you can see here, so I do @ and those are the usernames there. When I click on mine, it displays my email address instead.
so on page load.
Um,
Yeah, plugins.
I had
But 1 second, can you
2 seconds.
retrieve? Okay.
What was your question, Juan?
Yeah, that my concern in the past was like, for example, if you need to send an email notification to that user.
Right, which is ultimately what you're trying to do, right? Is to notify the
Yeah.
user.
I run in some issues because I cannot like specify that yeah, I have, if I display the name in the input, I will not be able to retrieve like the unique ID or the email because I'm displaying the name or things like this, if I'm not wrong, things like this.
Why
Like-
not? If you're tagging it, surely you can just extract if it's an email address, it'll be a unique email address to the user, right? And surely you can just match the email address with the unique ID.
Yeah, I don't remember quite how was it, because for example, with Quirky, we needed to tag like multiple users in the same post, and yeah, we were not able to retrieve the proper information to send the notifications to each of them, and display, for example, the name of them instead of the emails or something like that. And also design things like you cannot customize some aspects of the tag. But yeah, not sure if this changed it a little bit since that time.
Extract element. I don't know if you can extract just hashtags or if you can extract @ mentions as well. Because if you can extract an @ mention, it should be a type user, which would mean you should be able to access the unique ID, but I know it should.
So if there's a plugin developer watching this, either live or the replay, we need a better plugin for this.
Yeah, for sure. I think that Bubble should construct a native way for a chatting feature, adding tags and all of this stuff, because I think it's a super helpful and mostly used feature in many apps.
I agree. I
And
think
everybody is struggling with that.
I think they should also, we were talking last night, I think they should also eliminate the information barrier between repeating groups and the rest of the page.
That one,
Yeah.
that's not a Bubble choice. That's got to be a technical issue because it's such an obvious thing that you need to do. That's got to be a technical issue that stops them doing it, right? That can't just be them not wanting to do it.
But if BDK repeating group toolbox and orchestra can overcome it, then Bubble can overcome it.
They can,
yeah, for sure.
But that's because they install a plugin. So you're probably actively choosing to do something which Bubble may not want to do, whereas you're actively installing to choose the plugin. I can't imagine they're not doing it on purpose, right?
Okay.
It's just my thought. I may be completely wrong, but it just seems like such an obvious thing that you want to do. That there's got
Right, which is almost like, well, why did they build it that way in the first place? But I guess you're right. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll shut up.
So it's all good.
Awesome.
Right, I'm going to drop off. It was lovely to see you all.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate your
Thanks, Cal.
input for help. Awesome.
And Jordan, finally, you were able to add the tag or not? I will want you to go
No, I haven't yet.
with that. No, can you share it again?
Yeah. Hang on. I'll just.
Because maybe it can be an issue because of privacy rules. I'm not sure if you are logged in or yeah, things like that.
Oh, that's true.
True. Okay. Share screen.
Spoken like somebody
Okay.
who spent a lot of hours debugging privacy rules.
No, but you need to, okay, yeah, do this. No, it is not working. And can you go to the privacy rules, please? Okay, privacy. No, you can,
Oh, sorry.
yes, don't worry. Data, you can click there.
Yeah.
Data, then in the tab privacy, please. And select users, please. In the bottom, at the bottom. Okay, current cell. Okay, yeah. You are the admin? No.
Yeah.
But it is public, everyone else default view. So it currently, your users are currently exposed, all of them, just in case.
Yeah.
You see the last rule, everyone else default permissions, view all fields. So
Yeah.
it will be public.
I just done that for now, just while I've still setting it up.
Hmm.
Just gonna do privacy rules right at the end.
He likes to
That's
live
weird.
dangerously, Juan.
Which content?
I'm not sure I want to use this plugin if the enter button makes you go to the bottom of the screen. That's gonna.
I don't have that problem, I don't think. I don't
Oh, sorry, another thing. Can you go again to the plugin? Sorry, to the editor and to the plugin. But like, no, sorry, maybe I said it wrong. To the page, where is it? The element of this plugin?
This one.
This one. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna hit it.
Uh-huh. Edit it, please. Can you select it? And okay, it is input content type, rich content. No, it is okay. Enable air mode, read only, enable toolbar, text. Yes, no. Button, user, search for user, following, can you, can you click on edit style, please? In the style, scroll down a little bit there. No, yeah, but edit the style, please.
Oh, edit it. Sorry.
To check maybe how is the style, maybe it have different colors or. Ah, okay. Can you check enable mentions, please? There. And can you refresh, please?
Huh. There you go.
Hey, there. And but do you see the issue that now it is being showing in front of the repeating group, like below it? You see? Can you tag someone?
And the other issue.
Yeah. Do you see?
Yeah.
But yeah, it is the plugin. Yeah.
You can't
I
fix it.
and a client also flagged this, and yeah, I will need to ask the plugin author again. Maybe he can do a bunch of updates if I told him like there is some like many of them.
Yeah, and the scrolling thing, like if I push enter, it goes to the bottom of the page. I can't. Yeah, I mean it's all right in a pop-up or something, but it's not okay on a full page.
Or maybe what do you think if you can, like he is very pro, he answers so fast, so maybe if you can show him this or maybe record a long video for him, and I can tell him also my client's requirements, so maybe he can notice that there is like a demand of features of the plugin, and the plugin is being
Yeah, how do I do that?
yeah, sell, because this is a paid plugin, so he wants maybe to keep it updated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How
maybe.
how do I message him?
To me, let me add my email, or but this is to the plugin author.
Yeah, no, he's
can you-
asking how do you message the plugin author? I think from
Oh,
the
sorry,
from
yeah.
the
Yeah, in the bottom at the chat, in the bottom, the right corner there, you can say, hey, how are you?
Oh yeah, sweet.
And he will answer you fast. He's so pro.
So I'll take a screenshot.
and he knows the issues that you were having were for an AirDev client, right, Juan?
Yeah,
Okay, just making sure. That might make a difference to him. Maybe if you message him in Slack, he will understand.
oh,
Did
okay.
you know that he's in Slack?
No,
AirDev
I
Slack?
didn't notice that.
Yeah, you can message him directly in Slack.
No, I don't find it. I can find him.
You could, when I first joined, I noticed he was there.
Where off?
So
Ah.
yeah, if you just type his,
No, I can find him.
I see him, he's still there in AirDev Slack.
Oh, he blocked me.
He's like, this one's gonna be problematic. I don't think he can.
No, I can find him.
If you go to if you go to add a direct message and you start typing his name.
Where?
G-
No.
I often misspell his name when I'm trying to think of it. I'll show you later.
Okay.
I'll help you. Because it might make a difference if it's coming through the AirDev channel.
All right, cool. I'll do that. Then I'll send him a video.
Cool.
Oh, friend, I need to go to Matthew's meeting.
Okay.
I forgot him.
Bye,
Bye.
friend.
Thanks, John.
Bye. Don't worry.
All right, that
Awesome.
gives me something to work on if anyone else wants to go.
Yeah, we'll circle back around to Jay. Oh, there you are. Jay, are you still here?
Yeah, I was on mute, chatting away.
No worries.
I'm going to show you the one that's more challenging. The other one's kind of trivial and it's not really going to stop me from launching. I don't know if this will or not. Okay, so drag and drop. Can you all see?
Mm-hmm.
This is just your standard one. It's no big deal. These are in a repeating group, so they won't leave it. So I'm wondering, so then I went and looked for a solution. I found this zero code move it, and it looks like, I'm wondering if I can, I don't know if I can use it in a repeating group or not. I thought maybe you would mind trying it for me. Let me show you the
Okay,
live
sure.
time.
No problem. What is it? Move it? Okay. Yeah, no problem.
If you just put in move, it'll be the third or fourth one down. It's got a big greenish round logo.
All right, I will try.
So what this one does, this you can put in what you want it to do, and then when you click on an element, it moves. So I'm wondering if the element will move out of the repeating group. I don't think it will, but maybe it will. This is a $20 plugin. So I can't, first of all, I can't test it because Garden Brain isn't a paying app yet. You know, I'm still in a free plan with Bubble while I build.
Got it. Let's see here. Okay. I think you're probably right. I don't think this is going to work for what you want without the combination of one of those other plugins that allows you to kind of extract information from the repeating groups.
Like List Shifter.
Like List Shifter or Orchestra or the BDK repeating group tools. So, because there's that barrier to that information. So I probably not, but we can try it. I don't mind trying. So let me go, I will share my screen. Oh, I am sharing my screen. Let's see here, plugins and move.
There it is. It's the green, you're right above where you are now. Move and rotate element.
This one, okay.
Yep.
All right. And so what I want to do is I want to go on a page and add a repeating group. Is that right?
Yeah, a repeating group, a drop area, and then something in the repeating group.
Okay.
Although I don't know if it needs to be a drop area. If I'm using the move it
You
thing,
can move it within the repeating group, right?
I don't know. Like if I put, I don't know. I just don't know.
Go to, let me see your screen again. I'm gonna stop sharing.
So regular one, normal, but the ultimate,
Drag the tomato around, drag it to the cucumber.
it goes all over the repeating group.
It goes all over the repeating group.
Mhm.
So,
Yep.
and are the things that you want to move the things that are in the repeating group?
Yeah. I mean, I want to move just like this. I want to take this whole thing and put it somewhere else. And what the goal,
And-
the ultimate goal is for the user to be able to say, yep, I've got tomatoes in my plot over here. I've got cucumbers. I have this, and then drag over the items. And then later what I want to do is have them, so if they put on 3 tomatoes, then they have to be spaced properly, like 18 inches apart, or the user gets an error saying something like, you're going to get fungus. But the first step is just to get them so they can make a collection of the items they're growing in their vegetable plot.
And the drag and drop is super important as opposed to being able to click and add it.
I think, I mean, I don't want to give them a boring list, like a drop down repeating group type deal, because it's boring. I want them to have fun. So I want these adorable icons. And whether it's a swipe or a click, I mean, I'd prefer it to be a drag because I think that's a better user experience. But if it has to be a tap, I can live with that.
Is it possible that you could put a drag area inside the repeating group so they just have to drag it?
I tried it and it didn't work. You mean put the drag area inside the repeating group, like make it its own cell or something?
Yeah, so that was one of my ideas. But then my other idea, I mean, because it would be very easy for you to just be able to click the icon and add it to a list.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What I tried before was putting the entire repeating group into a drag and drop area, a drag area.
Mhm.
And the problem with that was that when I tried to move the what do you call it, the icon, it took the whole repeating group with it. But now the way you're saying it, I'm thinking, well, if the whole, maybe it doesn't have to come outside the repeating. Well, I don't know. Let's see. I can't even explain what I just meant. Okay, so now everything's in the repeating group.
Mhm.
Nope. Oh, that guy's outside the repeating group and he's moving fine. No, they don't move when they're all in the repeating group. Are they in it or are they under it? Let me double check. I think that might be why that's not working. I think the repeating group might not be around the whole thing. Come on, buddy. It didn't work. I've lost. everything. Okay, there's the, I can't seem to. draw.
Revert, undo everything. No, I'm just kidding. It's not an emergency.
Okay, what I want to do is get this repeating group. Work files, cut. Because that would totally do the job. I mean, all they needed is an area where something looks, you know, they can see, okay, that moves. But no, it's the same thing. It won't come outside the repeating group.
Right, got it.
Okay.
Okay, so my suggestion of putting a draggable area inside the repeating group cell. So each cell has a little draggable area that you can drag things to. But that's probably not the experience that you're going for.
Because then they're only moving it sideways, right?
We
Like,
could,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think you could probably do a really nice job of figuring out an interface where you're like clicking a plus button or a minus button and you're adding to the area. Or it's going to be like, we need to figure out the other plugin where you can run a workflow on the contents of the repeating group.
So I thought about putting I thought about doing like a horse. There's a lot of kinds of vegetables. Like this is the list right now, and there'll be a few more added to it. This is most of it. So I thought about doing a horizontal scroll at the top, and then as they scroll by, they can tap on, you know, whichever one, and then have it move with the move it element. But now we think that's not going to work. So you said BDK and you mentioned some others.
Yeah, so the problem, the reason I'm not trying to tackle it right now is because Thomas and I were messing around with Orchestra last night, trying to get it to work, and we were struggling a little bit. But it's good. It's going to be like the combination of that with your draggable elements to make it to make that work, because you'll have to somehow do an operation on that element to make it go outside of the repeating group, if it's even possible using that combination of plugins. And I don't know if it is. So
is there a way to instead, like I wouldn't be I can hard code those, you know, I can put the icons on the page. It's not the end of the world, but then I need it to still be something they can interact with, like a horizontal scrolling group type deal where they can slide. And
yes, so wait, maybe start your question again. Sorry.
So rather than have this big square, which I'm not probably going to keep anyway, it's too much. But if these, instead of being a repeating group, were just a series of images across the top, and they could just tap them or drag them, as opposed to being in a repeating group. If this is just a series.
Yeah, you could do it that way. I'm not a big fan of that.
Well, it's going to have problems with responsiveness, and it's also not going to be a slider. Like, how are they going to get to the next? Like, it needs pagination, which I could do with custom states and a search tool, but it just seems kind of clumsy.
Yeah, it does seem kind of clumsy. So I'm not really sure the answer here, but personally, I would probably go with a nice plus minus option. And then using a counter of some sort, or yeah, I'm gonna have to think on it.
That would be too much, too many widgets on the page. I mean, look at it already. If there was a plus minus with a counter, this page would be really hard to look at. Right now, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but the stuff is simple and it's engaging. So, but if they could tap, tap, tap and have it appear somewhere else, which I can do, but then tap one, like what you tap the tomato 3 times and over on the left, 3 tomatoes appear. Well, that's okay. And then you tap on a tomato on the left, one of the 3, and then you only have 2. And your
Yeah.
problem with that is that at least when I did perpetual flowers, year in color, that calendar thing with the blooms, I had to put like every single one of those images is an image that either shows or doesn't show. There's no way for a user who has 3 red colors in May to have 3. They just got 1. And that can't be the way here. Here they need to be able to have 3 tomatoes, 2. I mean, I want to be able to, they want to be able to see what they have.
Right.
Right. So that is something I can add them, I guess, to a data. I'm thinking out loud. I hope it's okay.
That's fine.
If you tap on the tomato and you create a new thing, and then another tomato, you create another new thing, then you've got 2 things and they can appear in its own new repeating group with the icon based on the option set. That would work, but it's going to make a big data mess.
We don't want big data messes.
No.
Let me think on this over the weekend and see if I can come up with something. Because I can't, I definitely, I think I understand what you're trying to accomplish. And I think there's probably an elegant way to do it. It's just a little tricky.
Yeah, I knew this part was going to be hard, and I'm good with that. So you guys worked with Orchestra yesterday and you didn't really get that far. I've tried too, and I'm completely mystified by it. What
think
happened?
I was able to do something with it previously, but last night for some reason it was hard, and it was also unnecessary, as we discovered at the first part of this call. So glad to solve it with native bubble features instead. Yeah. But yeah, I have used it and I've seen it work before. I just having a hard time remembering exactly what it was that I was doing when I got it working before.
For an app that is intended to be used largely on mobile devices, do you think that it makes a difference whether to choose BDK or Orchestra?
No, because it's it's not BDK native.
Yeah,
that's doing that. So
that if I end up going with native at some point, I don't know that I'm going to have to, but if I do, then maybe I'm just wondering if it would have made it easier or harder.
No, I think those are, yeah, I think it's separate issue. And to be clear, BDK's repeating group toolbox, or whatever it's called, is more allowing you to get information out of a repeating group. Or at least that was the intended use when I tried it out, whereas Orchestra is actually letting you run workflows on things that are in a repeating group.
I feel like that the use case I'm looking for is more about getting stuff out of the repeating group.
Like what it is. Yeah. So
once it's in its own place, like whether that's a drop area or whether that's a group of its own, like when it's in it's the plot, when they're in the vegetable patch area, then I can work on it and apply it to the current user, which is what needs to happen ultimately. That's the goal. Got it.
Okay, let me think on it this weekend and see if I come up with something. We're gonna move now into, unless Jordan, did you have anything else?
No, I'm good for the moment, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna move now into, we're gonna play around with Backendless, which I've never done before. So we're just gonna see how far we get with it. So I signed up for my account.
Cool.
Yeah. So Jordan, since it's been a while, Backendless is a no-code database that you can use as the back end of your app. And so you can connect it. It's much like Bubbles, database in the sense that you're creating your API as you go. but they have much more flexibility in terms of rearranging information in relationship to each other. So in Bubble, if you want to create relationships with data, you have to link the data directly to each other with fields. My understanding with Backendless is you can have a bunch of related tables, and any table that's related to another table in some way, you can pull a column or a field from that data table and mix and match them to create your own view of data, and then query that view so that you don't have to do some of the crazy workarounds that we do in Bubble's
So the
backend.
data would just get stored directly in Backendless,
Mhm.
and there'll
Yes.
be nothing in Bubble.
Yes. Yep.
This seems like a good way to get around having to use Elasticsearch, is it?
Yes, that's one of the applications of it. From what I understand is it's so there are a couple of big advantages. Let's just watch the video. Let me see if I can find that video again. Yeah, just
Oh.
Go ahead.
I feel like to summarize, it's this would be very useful for anything spreadsheet related, where there's a lot of complex relationships occurring between columns.
Mhm.
Is it easy or hard, or is it possible to export your data structure from Bubble into this, or do you have to do it manually?
Oh, well, so you would build your, like when you go to create a thing, instead of creating it, you wouldn't go to Bubbles. So for instance, if I'm on this page and I'm in my workflow here, and like when the page is loaded, I want to create a log or something like here and create a new thing. That's not how you would create a new thing. When you're using Backendless, you would run an API call here to create it.
And with a lot of them, like if you've a lot of complicated stuff, it doesn't get super slow.
No, in fact, that's one of the reasons to use it, is that it's much faster, especially like any kind of automated stuff where you're creating a bunch of things or making a bunch of changes. You can send those API calls to Backendless and it can run things a lot faster. So Austin, one of our members, he learned about Backendless on an office hours call and like immediately signed up for his trial. And the next day he told me, I'm moving everything to Backendless, because he was doing like recreating the database from his Hubstaff software into his Bubble app. And it was like, just to process the information was taking like a day with the recursive workflows, because you're forced to wait a second between each flow. And he had something like 30,000 things that he wanted to move in. And he can make that, he can send that to Backendless in much faster than he could do it with Bubble. What was that?
I said, cool, let's see it.
Yeah, so let's try it. So I'm gonna go in here into my API connector, and we'll do, I don't know why I have these extra ones. I don't remember putting them there. But okay, so we have a new API and I have no idea what I'm doing, so bear with me. So we've got so I need to somehow figure out how to connect this thing. Any ideas? Thomas, did you look into this at all?
Application ID, would it be?
Application ID. Here. I don't know how to authenticate or anything. Let's see, maybe they have some documentation. Data, here we go. That looks like something I net.
Going to connect the API.
Well, first we probably need to set up a database.
Gotcha.
Well, we have our app tables, and currently I don't have an app table, so let's add a table. So let's do users. I think one of the reasons why you might use Backendless is because it is HIPAA compliant. I mean, if you use it properly. So it won't let me use users. It doesn't like it. Does that mean I already have a users table? Yes, system users down here. Okay. So what would we call a user other than a user? Peeps. So the first column, name, string. I wonder what their definition of string versus text is. Date, time.
Your string is more dynamic.
JSON file, polygon geometry.
Choices.
So we'll go with text. I wonder what that means. Indexed. Validator. Okay. And that was easy enough.
So this would be like a text field.
Yep, that's the text field called name. So that would be like if I was in Bubble in my database here, and I said, like in my user, I have a first name here, a first, which is text, and this is just shorthand for first name.
Yeah.
So I didn't make a first, last, and last. I just made one, but same thing.
Yeah.
So now I will go birth date. Date, time. All right, so this feels pretty familiar. Now I have this, then I should be able to, this is the powerful thing. This is the app views. So let's make another one.
Does it store files as well?
It probably stores references to files the same way, but nope, it says files here. I'm not sure. That's a good question. Okay, so name here. So this is education. So school.
So just so I get what's going on, Bubble's just going to be like the front, and all of the calls are going to go to the Backendless database. Nothing's going to be stored on Bubble, and it's supposed to be a lot faster.
Yes.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and the reason it's going to be faster, like even if there might be like a different delay, because anytime you have to use your data tables in Bubble on the page, there's basically an API call that's being made to query Bubble servers anyway. So this would just be a query to a different server, right? So I don't think you're losing any time because of that. And then I think it's faster because of what Backendless can do with the information that Bubble cannot. So like, so let's make here schools. Name text. So then for education, where do I go? How do I add schema to it? So we'll go. I'm hoping this means that one school can be related to many.
Yeah, I think that's like a list in Bubble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But in Bubble, you can do, like if I do one to many, because I'm in the education piece. So I think it's actually one-to-one. Because each person is going to have an education record. Okay. So let's create another one. And then, cool. Are you following, Thomas? Is it making sense?
I'm trying to read their documentation.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Trying to figure out, like, I don't even know what validator means.
Oh, validator means like it's sort of like a template regular expression, just making sure that an email address is actually an email address.
Okay.
Yeah, or a US phone number is in the US has all 10 digits basically. A social security number would have 9.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So and then constraints are saying when this thing is created, when I say it can't be null, I'm saying you can't create one of these things without adding this field, a value for this field. If I say it's a unique value, it means that if any of the other things already have that value, it won't be created because it has to be unique and we don't want duplicates of it. I have no idea what indexed means.
What, indexed?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find a library where I can find like you know how like the reference guide in Bubble. I'm trying to figure this out.
Oh, like the glossary.
Yeah. I can't
Yeah, that would be helpful.
find it.
The default value is kind of nice too. That's I use that sometimes with yes, no's so booleans in Bubble.
The what?
So the default value, like what you want to make that by default. So like let's say you stay here, it has to have a value, but you could also set a default value, right? Okay. So we have education, peeps, and schools.
Function library, I guess. Quick start guide. Yeah, this is like one of those things that you gotta like read through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. Well, we're making a little bit of progress. We're not gonna have everything set up and running today.
I was thinking it'd be really cool if we could make just a spreadsheet template from scratch, and then we can just within each add specific like formulaic functions.
Oh, you want to wait? Hang on a second.
Sure.
Let's see here. Go here. I go to schema and I click on new. I don't know what double means. Yeah, I'll reach out to Austin. I'll see if he can come on Monday. Maybe he can show us around. I'm also, if that failing that, I'm going into the scoping process on the app where we're actually going to be using Backendless. So I'll be learning all about it next week and beyond.
Cool.
So, yeah. But in terms of getting the, oh, this is fun. This is starting to look familiar.
What was
So-
that you wanted to? You said you had an idea for like you wanted to build something that you would build an Airtable on Bubble. I don't know if it was the books, all the books you were.
Oh
reading?
yeah, so enterprising. Oh
Yeah. What did you want to convert? I remember we had a conversation and you said you wanted to convert that into a Bubble app.
yes, that's a very good use case. So enterprising, I have my rubric. And these are all formulas, all of the ones that have the F in front of it. And so, I mean, if you look at my fields, all of the ones that have FX are formulas that are summing up and averaging out things. But look at all of my formulas. All of those formulas on one sheet.
Wow. And you understand each of those, obviously.
Yep, I wrote them all by myself.
So maybe we can start with a few.
Yeah. Yeah, so like the formula here for this section, right, is just taking this one value, adding it to another and another, right? So
Is that just Airtable code right there?
yeah, this is Airtable's formulaic code.
Nice.
So
Sweet.
it's just math.
Yeah, it looks complicated.
Oh, it gets worse. I had one, I can't show it to you, that one, because it's proprietary, but let me think. I was comparing things. So I was saying if something equals between this and that, then award a certain number of points for it. And it just looked like it didn't look like it meant anything. Like it truly looked like almost like binary code, right? Because like when you look at it, it was like it didn't make sense to the eye, but it worked in Airtable speak. That was just last week I was doing that.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was.
Don't play coding language.
Airtable switch function switch. Yeah. So it was this. So like,
Doesn't look too bad. It's just a bunch of if statements.
well, yeah, so that doesn't look too bad because that's readable. It was this, right? But mine were numbers. Both were numbers. So all it was a number and a comma and a number and a comma and a number and a comma. So it was really not readable.
Is it supposed to be one from down up because that's how the order is taken? It looks like a function and it's taken 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, well, it's saying, okay, so if it equals this, then this, 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 else out of range.
Why is it the reverse order though? Why isn't it 1, 2, 3, 4 instead of 4, 3, 2, 1?
I don't think I think you could switch that
Okay, it wouldn't
if
make a
you wanted to. Yeah, I don't think the order here
Well,
makes a difference. Because if it's more than 4 or less than 1, then it's out of range.
gotcha.
But yeah, it took me a minute to figure out how to do it, but I worked it out. And that was the most important part of moving all of that data. That it took me 12 hours to move the data from Bubble to Airtable to process. And then once it was there, this processing happened almost instantaneously, right? It was easy for Airtable. But yeah. All right, well, we will keep working on this and figure out the calls exactly. So use genuinefeeling.backendless. Right, so this would be the URL, all of these. And then you can use get, post, and put. I think get and post work with Bubble. I don't know about put. I think there's been some talk about that on the Bubble forum. So I could query my database with a get, or I can post something to my database here with post. So here I can construct and test my my calls, and then once I have the calls, I can put them into the API connector. I find the trickiest part figuring out how to authenticate. So probably need to work that piece of it out.
How to like authenticate it with Bubble?
Yeah, so like how like where does Backendless want me to put the API key, for instance? Like, do they want it in the header? Do they want it in the body? Where do they want it? In order to validate that they want to give me the information back or do what I'm telling them to do. So. Very cool. Well, I feel like I need to do more research before we go any farther with this, but at least we're starting the process.
I'm looking at their stuff here.
Yeah.
I can find.
Thomas, I can't remember. Have we actually decided what we want to ask Eli for the build along next week?
So that's actually what I was going to ask you, is that I don't, obviously his skill set is much more complex than I, so what I would think is complex might just be really simple for him. What do you think would be a bit of a tricky thing that we could ask him? Since you know more about the inner workings.
So yesterday there was someone was talking about one of the plugins Eli's made. Sure. So we could, he has a few of them. Let's go to IO. It was his exporting CSV. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. It wasn't wouldn't this be related to the question that was asked that you had mentioned yesterday?
Which one? I'm not.
He was trying to, I think he was trying to transfer from one repeating group to another CSV information. I might be mistaken. You had mentioned it yesterday. It was a question on the Facebook group, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, precisely. Somebody had recommended, I think, this one. Oh, yeah, and yeah. So downloading CSV from a repeating group, and then this one is the CSV creator. And then
Which one is Eli's? I guess this one.
I think,
Yeah, it says Eli.
I think he built two of them. So this one's by AirDev. Eli works for AirDev, and then this one's by Eli, and then I think this one's also by Eli. Yeah, and then nope, not Eli's. And then this looks like zero code.
Is the blue that
Do
guy?
I know my plugins or what?
Is it the blue? I think it's the blue, isn't it?
It's the animation.
Yeah. I thought it was the blue. They use that blue everywhere.
But well, it's working. I was like, I didn't need to see it to know that this was zero code. So yeah, so Eli's built these two, and we use them a lot. So maybe we'll ask him, because he will have started to play around. I don't know that he's ever played around with Backendless, but we could actually continue this conversation with him and like come up with something cool to do. I can ask him to help me figure out what might be a good use case to try it out with. Maybe we'll make a dummy use case out of the app that we're actually going to be working on with it as well.
Do it.
So yeah, very cool. Well, for those of you who are watching the replay or watching live, what we're talking about is Eli Beachy will be here next week on August 13th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. He will be our special guest on Co-Creative No Code's office hours. He is considered our tech support person at AirDev. So we rely on him, Juan, who was here earlier, and I rely on him a lot whenever we have super technical questions, sometimes even not super technical, just technical questions. If we want his opinion on how to do something, or if we're thinking through something that we've never done before. Very excited to have him. And yeah, and if you would like to get in on that call as your complimentary session for Co-Creative No Code's office hours, please contact Kim. You can go ahead and comment in the live here, or you can also email her at kim@cocreativenocode.com. And yeah, she can help set you up. Make sure that you join the Co-Creative No Code Facebook group on Facebook, and you can get your Zoom pass, your Zoom link for next week, next Friday. In the meantime, we'll have 4 other Co-Creative No Code office hour sessions between now and then, Monday through Thursday. So Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. You may also use your complimentary session for one of those instead if you have a pressing bubble issue that you would like for us to talk about. Thank you so much, Jay, for being here, Thomas, Juan, who was here before, Jordan, and Calum. I think all 5 of you joined us today. We missed you, June. I thought you were going to join, but you didn't. And then also thank you, Kim, for being here today. As always, very important to making all of this work for us. So I will, have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Okay. Take it easy.
Hey guys, see ya. Bye.
Bye.